here. Most importantly, I want to say thank you all for coming to Just One More. I know you all have family things, or some of you had a bar stool that you normally sit on, but thanks for joining me tonight. It's kind of like a reunion of the class of 77. There's a ton of us that got hired 74 to 78, so I don't know, do we have a class president or anything, Tom? Most importantly, I want to ask that none of you drink and drive tonight. There's plenty of rooms at the inn, or if you need a ride, let us know, we'll get you a ride. And because I know we want to have a few beers. And yeah, Steve has permission for us too.
Supposed to be in the picture.
Okay, listen, I don't think I'll get through much of this, but I want to say, you know, I have a real attitude of gratitude. You know, this has been a great career, lots of good friends, free beer. It's been a dream come true for me. So I just want to say thank you all for coming, and I think they're going to say a lot of mean things now. and I think it's going to start right here with the man who actually is responsible for me applying at Coors, Mr. Bill Becker.
I used to be Bill Becker, and 30 and a half years ago, there was a little deal called a strike, and so I called one of my wives, who happened to work at Lutheran Hospital, and I said, is wicked Wanda still, like, loafing over there? Good luck. Thanks, Bill.
Nice. Are you kidding me? Hey, thanks for coming. I'm Steve Rockwell, if you don't know me, and I don't actually know why I'm kind of like second line here, but I am. And the good news is, I think tonight I'm not going to tell the real story about how Wanda and I met. What I really wanted to tell you, no, that'll come out later, really. But I thought I'd just give you a little perspective on why in the heck are we here tonight, and what a wonderful thing it is that we recognize another employee that's been here for a lot of years. And geez, you go back about values on why you work at Coors, and certainly about passion. Wanda Johansson, I think, epitomizes all that. But I thought this kind of maybe did it all. She sent me an email here a while back that said, she sent an email to her nephews, and if you know Wanda at all, she's all about family and friends and company and all this kind of thing. So she sent an email to her nephews about, hey, so how's this going to go anyway? All these years you boys have introduced me to your friends as your aunt who works at Coors. Well, in about 11 calendar days, that ends. So then this is, my unemployed aunt, geez. What a Wisconsin thing, right? And so I thought I'd read you their responses because they can't be here tonight. But so anyway, from the first one it says, from now on, I'll introduce you as my Aunt Wanda, the one who changed the world by devoting her life to producing the greatest beer and beverage on earth. That was from nephew Dana. And the other one is, it says, this is my aunt from Colorado, who upon learning on my birth, took a job with the greatest brewing company in the U.S. and dedicated her career to ensuring that I would have the best brew around. That's from Chris. And he was born 1 week after you started working at Coors. And finally, I guess, this my friends, I guess, would tell you what epitomizes about Wanda. And it's from her nephew, Con. And he says, I would think it just changes to this. This is my aunt who dedicated her heart and soul to Adolph Coors Company for 30 and a half years. I don't think that sounds so bad. Pretty admirable, really.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that'd be the end of that. If you think you made a little bit of money, it's crazy. Hey, I got some of my folks from Brewing Materials here tonight. Could you guys join me, and gals, join me real quick? And, you know, I guess I'm fortunate that I got the microphone first. I'm going to pass it off to a couple other folks who are going to talk about Wanda's career. But really, at the end of the day, Wanda's been a great friend to us and a great help. that really we've pulled together. A lot of folks today in big business magazines and this and that talk about how in the heck you make a successful company. Well, I think how you make a successful company is really figuring out what the heck makes the business, and I think Wanda always got that you know, she knows it takes great quality ingredients, and it takes good people to brew beer, and it takes great people to package beer and great people to sell beer, and that's what makes a company successful. But what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about is the first part of that, and that's the brewing materials piece of it. But I couldn't get entirely away here without roasting her just a little bit. We kind of figured as we talked about this, one of the real pinnacles of her career over the last 30.5 years was in Billings, Montana. And there are some of you folks who were actually there, and I won't mention all of you. But Wanda had a great time up there, and interestingly enough, it's still talked about in Billings, Montana. And what ended up happening out of that field days that we had up there is Wanda competed in a Dancing on the Bar contest.
One of my prouder moments.
At the Wild West, Montana. You're lucky Pete left, or he has some other comments as well.
For MP, we're on the bar.
And the other thing we just want to say a great gratitude and thanks is Wanda's actually helped us with all the barley field days that we've had. She's really the plane mom that we had, as you know. Some of these guys get to fly on a Learjet and whatever, and so Wanda's really been, we've asked her to do that a number of times to help babysit them, and she's done that. And so this is this year's field hat. Whether or not you're the plane mom or not, we want you to have that. And, you know, really passionate we came up with something that was, I guess, 4 years ago, 8 or something like that, and it was called the Golden Grains Award. And it's something that we really wanted to come out with to recognize people that had great passion and great belief in brewing materials and Coors, and this is only the third one made, right? We had one made because it went to and it's a rotating trophy, to the area that had the best barley quality. The other one that we had made was for, it was Bill Coors, right? Yeah. And the third one that we had made was for Wanda Johansson. Okay, so it's hard to say something bad after that. So at this time, I got to get out of here because Wanda had a really passion around making this thing quick or whatever, so she didn't have to stand up here forever. But anyway, I want to introduce right now Daryl Miller, who is her current supervisor, or last supervisor, I guess you'd say.
I don't work for him.
And you don't work for him anymore, but you know, Daryl, I always think she's been a 10. What do you think? Maybe 10.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Hey, guys, you know, this is Wanda's night, so if we can kind of stop the sidebar conversations like we do in meetings, so people can pay attention to Wanda. If you have conversations, you can do them back at work, okay? So,
Right.
I don't want to talk a lot because we went through this last week, but if you remember back in May, GBBU and Coors Brewing Company, Greg, yeah, of course you don't remember back in May. If you remember back in May of last year, Wanda was awarded the Living Through Legacy Award, which exemplified all the passion and all that stuff that Coors, and you know, you can go on and on and on about Wanda and passion and their dedication to the business, but man, she's retired, who cares?
Oh my God, that was a Kramer thing.
Because if I stood up here and waxed poetic for hours about all the great things that Wanda's done, you'd all be drunk and we'd be laying on the floor. And I'm not going to do this again to her because last Friday at the Process Operations RMT, guys, last Friday at the Process RMT, which is where all the leadership from Process Operations get together, that was Wanda's last day. And I stood up in front of the group and kind of thanked Wanda for her time. And I'm all for Clip now, talk amongst yourselves. So she started to weep and all that other stuff, so I promised her I wouldn't, but she's not crying now. I'm crying after getting the film. So she doesn't want a whole lot of that. I only have one thing to say to Wanda, well, two things to say to Wanda. First of all, every night when I would leave the brewery, I'd see Wanda walking in, because she parked across the street over in the parking garage, and every night when I would walk out, I'd roll my window down and I'd yell at Wanda, "Get a car!" and she said, "Pay me more." And now that you have that princely pension coming your way, hopefully you'll be able to park closer and/or, get that wonderful place up in Wisconsin. And the last thing I want to say about Wanda, if you've ever gotten an email from Wanda, what it really means to this wonderful person who's meant so much to Coors, at the bottom of every one of her emails says, "Save the Earth, it's the only planet with beer." So in honor of Wanda Johansson, bring the beer. We love you and we'll miss you. PJ Coors would like to say a few words. Run, Wisconsin! Run, Wisconsin! Fight through the mud!
First off, Wanda needs another beer, so if you could bring one over, that'd be great.
So does Wanda's sister.
And so does the sister, so bring two.
There you go, Joe.
There's been a lot of great things said about Wanda today.
Hey.
I spent about 4 years in process operations with Wanda, and she taught me a lot about how to make beer and all kinds of good stuff.
I know.
Recently, I switched over to demand planning, and we go through a model every year to see how much beer is going to be sold in different regions. And in Wisconsin, we have a special note for when Wanda goes on vacation. So, because we do see a spike. She is as passionate as anybody about getting other people to drink our product, and drinks a fair amount herself. So we appreciate that. And for the 2008 plan, we've already scheduled some big growth in the second half of the year for Wisconsin.
Thank you.
I don't think it's lost on anybody in this room, but when I look around, it amazes me how many people from different generations are here. You see folks that are my age, who were born after Wanda started, and then you see some of the older folks that remember that when we only had one product in like 4 or 5 SKUs, and Wanda is in a group that is getting rarer and rarer, and I call it the BCL group before Coors Light. So every time one of these BCL folks retires, it gets me a little closer to someone not saying, "I worked here before you were born." But Wanda, thank you very much. I noticed a couple of folks from United Way are here today. We talk a lot about United Way and what Wanda's done for them, but she is a superstar here in Denver when it comes to United Way, and the effort she has put in really has made a difference in the state of Colorado, in my opinion. She is as adamant about it as anybody. And I think she deserves to be recognized and make a difference in the state. So I'm going to pass it back and let you guys get back to drinking in just a few more minutes.
Thank you, PJ. My name's Al Ramirez, and I've worked for Wanda my entire career. And I'm not done yet. Before I get started, I do want to introduce Ben Lewis. He's from United Way. As PJ said, if everybody does know, I was seeing if my wife was way back there. I want to introduce Ben Lewis from United Way. Like we have a lot of special guests here that are from outside of Coors. It means a lot to Wanda. So, Ben, you want to say a few words?
Thank you. Again, my name is Ben Lewis, and I've only been at United Way 10 years. When the first time I came out here to meet Wanda, I was told that there were some people at United Way that assumed that she was one of the Coors family. She seemed to own the place, and so I was a little intimidated. But I have to tell you something. This lady has the biggest heart in metropolitan Denver, and we are very appreciative of all she's done for this community. It literally is millions that she has raised over so many years, and this community would not be the same and be the great place to raise a child as it is today if it weren't for Wanda Johansson and what she's done. So, you know, we all can be replaced, just not duplicated. And that is especially true of Wanda. And I don't want anybody to duplicate Wanda because it'll be fond memories forever, even though she roots for the Green Bay Packers.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you for coming. Okay, here we go. I know Wanda, if you know Wanda, it was interesting, as we were planning for her retirement party, okay, I hear you. She was like, let me do it. Let me do it. You know, this is the way I want it. So my speech is very short. It's not even a speech here. You know, I was trying to think about a Wanda to Al Ramirez. Hey! Thank you, Mark. Okay. So
mean up here.
Yeah, I am mean. She was, you know, when I first came in, Wanda, you know, is and continues to be my legacy, okay? You know, so what, you know, to a lot of people, what is she? She's my legacy. She's our legacy. She's our United Way representative. She was our, you know, transportation coordinator. She was our scheduler. And for some of us out there, she was our 2337 coordinator and commissioner. Yeah, there you go. But to me, you know, Wanda was my help desk, okay? I would never call IT before I called Wanda Johansson. So one thing I learned about Wanda was that you never make fun of cats, okay, if you know Wanda. And I learned that the hard way, okay? And it's funny, because Wanda would always send me a page and she would say coffee, and it'd be like, you know, 9:30. And toward the end, it'd be like 10, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, I've already had about 3 or 4 meetings already. I've already had 5 cups of coffee. But okay, I like conversation. She was a slacker at the end here. So, you know, I think when we put up the W up here, as someone said earlier, is that really for Wanda, you know? Does that mean Wanda?
No, that's Badgers.
So as we begin the next stage of Coors, I want to dedicate today, on this day is AW, after Wanda. All right, to conclude the program, sorry Wanda, I told you I wouldn't make you cry, but I lied, is Rick Payne, okay?
Hi. Here we go. As most of you know, I'm a man of very, very few words. And over the years, this dear lady and I have teamed up to do some absolutely delightful odes for folks when they've retired. So it's now time to do Wanda's ode. And what Wanda doesn't know is it's been embellished from the last time. So, you know, I need to try to do this, but there's something that just doesn't feel right. You know, all those wonderful years in guest relations where we had the fabulous opportunity to meet those guests, it was all about presentation. And if you just aren't, well, we got to get Okay. I've always looked stupid. I have every idea how stupid I look. That's never been a problem. All right. I will attempt to get through this, taking us down a little trip down memory lane. So, the bad part is I always had Wanda as a partner, and this time it got left to me, so this maybe isn't quite up, but we'll give it a shot. She came to Coors from Lutheran Hospital in May of '77, thanks, Becker, as the strike came on. And for a lady named Wanda, a long-term career was about to dawn. Only gonna stay a while. For her, some quick cash. Now there are more memories than even she knows where to stash. Quality control shift check was her first assignment in production. Little did she know making Coors beer would become such a seduction. The strike lines were scary. Lots of goons at the front gate. Where is Mr. Kellogg? Yeah, you remember those things. Okay. but not so scary as to deter her from what was deemed to be her fate. This beer business was fun, taking samples from brewing to aging and points in between. But, you know, in process control, the task included checking in. So a bid to the press floor in brewing was to the control room. Next she went, no doubt, the best job in the brewery.
No doubt still is. Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Yes, isn't it? Yes.
Loved working with Mike Stepanovich, and to keep up with him, yeah, you kind of had to hurry. This readied our Wanda for a job that was certainly a great challenge to her. SIT in the head house in Malding on straight graveyard. Made her mind, all of us, kind of a blur. As green as they come with no experience doing this kind of work, you see. Soon she learned Coors has our own unique version of OJT. A supervisor in grain handling in '84, then in brewing in '85, rotating shifts versus straight gravy. She actually felt, hey, this I can survive. She said a 4x4 schedule made life even better for lucky me. 4 days off made for a chance to travel in this beautiful country to see. Bowling in the Coors League, all kinds of strikes and spares. Softball with the Bahama Mamas.
Yeah.
Without any cares. A lot of beer, but no cares. In both golf and softball, serving on committees seemed the right thing to do. And being VP or president just seemed to happen to you know who. The golf league now beckons her to continue to play and to serve. Here's hoping this retirement thing doesn't throw that a big curve. Of the passion she has pursued, one is clearly her favorite, the one at the top. United Way, our giving campaign, and the goals each year that we continue to pop. Over 14 million we have helped to raise at last count, but it was always about the people Wanda worked with, never the final amount. Her dad's military reunions are another thing she does with great passion, for sure. Seeing that smile on his face is an image that will, for our Wanda, forever endure. Oh, oh, the memories are many. How do I pick? How do I know? But a short walk down memory lane we shall now go. And I think one of them came in here just a second ago. Fixing a copying machine, a simple task.
Yeah, boys here.
Okay.
We almost got fired.
Fixing a copying machine, I'll try that again. A simple task once proved a bit too much. From that day on, Ken Prophet and Wanda, copying machines were forbidden to touch. Trips on the Learjet with Pete and the gang, flying into small airfields, a bit of a thrill. Going to some of those barley field locations took some real Navy pilot skill. The Rockies are great fun, and she was a season ticket holder for 10 years. And their run for this year at the series, well, that was reason for beers and cheers. The Legacy Award was a huge thrill because it came from Wanda's friends and peers. She shall cherish it always in her retirement golden years. SAP go live in '99. Oh boy, was that quite a thrill. After 32 nights of fun, not so much, her favorite saying, she sure had her fill. She has been a mentor to Coors folks and young kids too. There really is nothing for others she will not attempt to do. Success has found her in so many ways. Coming from what Wisconsin may have contributed on some of those days. Coors 101 is a success. The session's first class because of her spark. Her legacy will long continue as many of us, our presentations carried her unique mark. No brew schedule was final till Wanda gave her blessing and consent. If one made an unplanned change, they found out what when hell freezes over really meant. She was a coordinator of all things, our mother, teacher, coach, conscious, and friends. As it was from the beginning, so shall it continue to be until the end. The time has now come to bid Wanda farewell, to let her be on her way.
Not an obituary.
I know. Yeah, it's more of an obituary. See, that's having this thing called retirement and a new life and fun to play. I am almost done, I promise. Well, the urge is now to ask her to reconsider, not leave us. We want you to stay. We know that won't be happening, and you're headed off to start a brand new day. And the conclusion. Da-da-da. Oh, yeah. Back to the family, to Wisconsin, to the snows she will eventually go. to our beloved Packers and Brett, and maybe next year, a Super Bowl. Don't you, Vince? Don't start. Don't beat those Bears, Al. They don't have a chance. Up there, a new cabin is now being built for family and friends to gather and play. May the Coors beer be always cold, very plentiful, and drank safely each day. Our example of Wanda's passions come not from just us, as the note indicates, from her family, praising to Coors her value and worth. From now on, I will introduce you as my Aunt Wanda, the one who changed the world by devoting her life to producing the greatest beer and beverage on earth. So, Wanda, know that you have touched our lives so profoundly, touched our hearts and our souls. So now it is only right that we honor you, and honor you now by raising our glass.
I'm out of here.
Wanda needs a beer. Wanda needs a beer. All right, here it is. Wanda would like to do a final toast, or not a final toast?
Bob. You know, I gotta have the last word here, Bob. Hey, this is a fantastic company and lots of good friends here tonight. And as I'm looking around the room, a few have slipped in. Hey, I'm talking here. Okay, so here's my toast. As long as we are able to lift our glasses from the table, here's to good friends, Coors beer, and how about a little peace on earth?
Oh, yeah. And there's food back there, too. Way back there. Enjoy. I need the choir to meet me in the hallway. All of you that have been tagged as the choir, please meet me in the hallway. Wanda, don't go anywhere.
This ought to be good.
Share. When we get to the chorus, we'd like everybody to join in. All right, anytime you feel you sing better, join in. All right, tune in the Beach Boys song. Everybody hear me? Anybody that wants to talk, go out in the hallway. Okay, one. Here's Jim. All right. I don't know, this is, Wanda. We're all going to miss you around here.
Hi.